Good evening, everybody. Great to see you all here. Thank you all for coming. So, here, at least in Spain, it's been a very cold week. I think the lowest temperature in the whole of Spain this week was 35 degrees below zero. But personally, I've been very lucky because I live near the coast, and here, I think the lowest we've had is -3. Good evening, Javi. Good evening, Beatriz. Good evening, Cheyenne, Chandra, Victor Gabriel, brilliant. And Ricky and Lavinia, good to see you this evening. Good evening, Renyard, and good evening, Count Beauty. And that's Ronan, good evening. So it's wonderful to see you all here. I get the feeling that many of you live in warm countries, but as I was saying, it's been really cold here this week. Well, mind you, I bet for you, Count Beauty, it's been incredibly cold. Good evening, Alexei and I don't live in a city. I live in the middle of the countryside in northwestern Spain, Lavinia. So, wow, we got lots of people here. Good evening again to you, Raccoon, again. And Sumit, Tukash, minus 35 degrees Celsius in Spain. That's quite something. Good evening, Assad. Good evening, Tomac. And Zakaria, good evening, thank you. So, if you're all ready, and English vibes as well. All these people turning up just like this, that's wonderful. Okay, we're going to have a class like we normally do. We're going to have some idioms to start with. Notice, for many of you, these idioms are very difficult idioms. One or two of you have incredibly good English, and that's why you're actually able to get many of these. But if you don't get these idioms, they're things for you to practice, yeah? Good evening, Jack Lantis and Hanse, and Baptista, Denise, Anya, wow. So, let's try the first idiom. And yes, this is talking about a very short period of time. So, okay, it's warm in India now, I'll bet. It's always warm in India. The idioms are, I choose hard ones because we've got some good people. Okay, it's definitely here now. In a very short period of time. In the of an. In the of an. So a very short time. Something that happens very rapidly. Okay, Nora's starting. Yep. Since the 70s, Spain hasn't had this type of weatherhead through this, you're right. So, Nora's got it, and English Vibes has got it, and Anya's got it, Hubby's got it. In the nick of time, Count Beauty is different. It means just at the right moment, at the 11th hour. Yeah? So, I caught the train in the nick of time. No, this is in the blink of an eye, as Aboud says. Let's see, Lavinia, the blink of an eye. So, in the blink of an eye, to blink is when you shut your eyes rapidly. So if something happens in the blink of an eye, then it's very rapid. Okay, Romain, it's at the drop of a hat. At the drop of a hat. But that's very good. So, at the drop of a hat, not in the drop of a hat. In next to no time. Well done, Javi. You're always looking for other ways around these. In the flash of a blade. That's quite good as well. Good evening, Katia. Nice to see you with us. So, let me write this in place. And in the... whoops, I need capital letters. Blink of an eye. How long does it take you to blink an eye? Very rapidly. Notice when you blink, both eyes shut. When you wink with a W, that's one eye. Okay, so in a very short period of time, in the blink of an eye, yeah, so in the blink of an eye you will all be speaking fantastic English. I know this is going to happen, yeah, in the blink of an eye. So let's try another one then. Yeah, in the blink of an eye, something that happens in a flash. At the 11th hour. It's a nice phrase, in the nick of time. Okay, which is different from this one, in the blink of an eye. In the blink of an eye, winter will be over. Yeah? It's just a very short thing. In the limelight, Vitaly. You're always rapid. So CRPT, hello, nice to see you. 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so Vitaly said the limelight. Ricardo, Jack, Tomek and English Vibes have said in the spotlight. I think both work. I think I probably prefer the limelight. That's good, Hubby and Haida, well done. And Count Beauty, well done as well. In the public eye, I think that works as well, Tanetra. I quite like that. It means it's receiving large amounts of publicity or attention. So, yes, Nora, I think all of those three I'm going to use. Yeah, in the limelight, in the spotlight, and in the public eye. Yeah. So if you're in the limelight, limelight is like the light that they used to use in theatres before they had electric lighting. So let's see, in Europe at the moment the cold weather is in the limelight or in the spotlight or in the public eye. Yeah, maybe COVID is in the public eye as well. Good evening, Nitu, nice to see you, my friend. Okay, so in the limelight, yeah, in the public eye. And good evening, Asma, as well. Okay, so the next one, I think there are various answers to it. This one talks about, yes, Ronan, in the limelight, about being in a difficult situation. I am in good evening, Halit. So, I am in a what? In a difficult situation. In a predicament, that works. I like that fix as well, Tanetra. In a muddle, yes. Maybe if you're in a muddle, you're confused. In the hot water, I like that. Cheyenne. In a dilemma, yes. In a pickle, singular, not pickles plural. So let's see. Predicament. And I've been given lots of other good ones here. In a fix. In a dilemma. In a pickle. In hot water. I think if you're in your hot water, you're in trouble. Yeah, in a shambles. In a trap, maybe. If something's in a shambles, it's completely disordered. So the organisation is in a shambles, in a pickle. If you're in a pickle is normally a preserved cucumber, very tasty. In the soup, Tanetra. In the soup. Yeah, I'm in the soup. I'm in the problem. In a slush. No, I don't think you can say in a slush. Lavinia. Slush is a mixture of water and ice, so there's slush on the roads all over this evening. I think that Ricardo's works. Quandary. In a quandary. I'm in a quandary. I don't know what to do. Bogged down in a serious situation. I'm in a rough patch. I'd probably say I'm going through a rough patch. In a rut. If you're in a rut, it means you're always doing the same thing and you can't get out of it. Yeah. It's like stuck in a problematic situation, stuck in something you're not happy with. Well done, Javi. I love that one. In a bind. A bind. That's quite good, to be in a bind. Yes, definitely, Vitalia. In deep shit and without a paddle. Vitalia, they normally say up shit creek without a paddle. In a quagmire. I think in a quagmire would work as well. Good evening, Manu. I'm going through a tough period. Okay, that. All of these sound really good. Whoops, I forgot to put a slash here. A quandary, a quagmire. So I think let's try another one. Okay, yeah, you're just in trouble. That's a good way of putting it. Okay, so, yeah, I hope none of you are in a predicament or in a fix. I'm in a dilemma, I don't know what to do. I'm in a bit of a pickle. I'm in hot water, I'm in trouble. I'm in the soup. Okay, next one is, I think, quite easy. My sister notices everything. She has very sharp vision. In the blight. In a plight, I would say. In a plight. So, my sister notices everything. She has very sharp vision. She is... So, Vitalia, that's very good. So, I think with that, Abud, you'd say she has. Razor sharp eyes. No. Okay, Gertrudis, that's good. Beatrice, that's good. She is very sharp-eyed. But an animal. Okay, so you've said she's hawk-eyed. It could be, but more normally we use a different bird, as Victor Gabriel has put it. So eagle-eyed. Yeah, she's eagle-eyed. It's eagle-eyed. Eagle-eyed is the word, and I think we probably need a hyphen there as well. Yeah, if you're eagle-eyed, she's sharp-eyed. Yeah, I guess all of you people who said sharp, Cheyenne, and many others, sharp-eyed, I guess it works, but eagle-eyed is more interesting. Yeah. Notice this doesn't mean only for things that you can physically see, but this is noticing things as well. Yeah. So yeah, if you're eagle-eyed, you notice everything and you catch everything. She has 20/20 vision. So try this one, hubby. Hindsight is 20/20 vision. If you look at the past and know what happened, then you know exactly what you should have done. Hindsight is 20/20 vision. Okay, perfect vision. Eagle-eyed, Ronan. There. So good evening, Hussein. Keen-eyed, hawk-eyed. Yeah, I like eagle-eyed the best. So John's presentation was obviously the best by far. It was down the best. And we got 3 right answers, 4 right answers, 5 right answers. Bang, bang, bang. Vitalia, Cheyenne, Hussein, Manjira, Yahia. So, and Beatrice and Tomek and Baptista. Yeah, the eagle has very good vision. So I think this is one that many of you know. Hands down. It was hands down the best. So notice hands down. This means head and shoulders above the rest. Yeah. So notice hands down is an adverb. Yeah. So it was the cream. It was the icing on the cake. Yeah. But so something that is hands down the best. I liked his version hands down, not deep down, hands down. I don't know why they say hands down. That's good, Minati. His presentation was the most interesting, hands down, by a long way, by far. Yeah, so you are hands down the best group of students a teacher could want. Yeah, hands down. Don't get depressed, Lavinia. As I always say, each time you make a mistake or you don't know something, it's a learning opportunity. No, it's an adverb. I think you can also use it as an adverb as well. The eagle, yeah, has peripheral vision. Maybe the eagle has the best vision, hands down, easily, by a long way. Yeah? So if you describe something as hands down, because okay, he doesn't need to raise a hand to win the fight. That's good logic, Baptista. I like it. So this one's easy. This is the latest technology. It is edge technology. I think I need a hyphen here. So as Vitalia always, because nobody complains, that's good. So Vitalia, Tomek, Anya, Cheyenne, I'm glad you like it. Okay, so Yahia, very good. Valium Dog, very good. Win the fight hands down. That's a great example, Ricardo. And Mangira, yeah, hands down. It's hands down, totally new. And Lavinia, you got this one, congratulations. And Reynard, so Minati as well. He won hands down. You say that in English. He won hands down, Baptista. That's great. The best thing since sliced bread. That's good. So this one you seem to know. It is cutting edge technology. If something is cutting edge, it's the edge that cuts. It's the very latest. It's the best. It's the newest. High end. I like high end. High end also implies expensive as well. State of the art. That works, Cheyenne. Very good. And I think the next one we certainly had before as well. Yeah? Cutting edge technology, high-end technology, state-of-the-art technology. Cutting edge means the very latest, the most sophisticated that exists on the market. I don't know much about mobile phones, but I'm sure there are cutting-edge mobile phones on the market. Okay, good evening, Sinjin. Nice to have you with us. To sit on the fence, Lavinia, this means to be, a person sits on the fence, but this is not quite the same. Yeah, he's sitting on the fence. A person sits on the fence when they're undecided. But, so, we got lots of good answers though. So, Vitalia, English Vibes, Tomek, Cheyenne. It's not hung in the air. It's as Cheyenne or Roan, or as Camp Beauty says, it's still up in the air. Up in the air. So the decision is up in the air. It's not been made yet. Up in the air. Still up in the air. Good Valium Doc. Top-notch technology. I like that phrase as well. It's up in the air. It's hanging in the air. I would say it's up in the air. Work in progress. Yeah, you could. Work in progress is something that's not finished. Yeah, the decision is it's still work in progress. I guess that would work. Head through this. Good. Up in the air. So a castle in the air, Baptista, something that's unreasonable. It's just a dream. It's not realistic. It's not something that's going to happen. So believing that we're going to end COVID next week is a castle in the air. It's an air castle. At a preliminary stage, that's the idea of work in progress. Yeah, I like that, Tanetra. So all the hurly-burly in here in this class is doing great. So it's still up in the air. Yeah, travelling is up in the air due to COVID. Absolutely, Lavinia. A good idea. Pending being finished. Travelling in these days, head through this, is up in the air. Good. Tomek. Is missing up. Okay. So, tentative. Tentative means undecided. Yeah, it's we've tentatively made the decision. We've probably made the decision, but we're not completely sure that this is the final decision. You can have tentative as well, meaning not very brave about something, very unsure. Okay, so here we go. Last one of these. The hierarchy, oh, it still hasn't come through. Yes, it has now. The hierarchy of status among the members of the group. So, it's hanging in the balance. That would work as well, Asthma. So I need a phrase for the hierarchy of status among members of the group. And Vitalia, as always, maybe you've got a typo error there, because it's an E, not an I, Tomek. Valium dog, very good. That's better, Tomek. It was a typo. Yeah. Yes. So, we got lots of good answers. That's good, Lavinia, as well. And Tanetra. The pecking order. I don't know if any of you have ever kept chickens, but chickens have a pecking order, and the most important pecks the next one down, and the next one down pecks the next one down, and there's an order of who bullies who. This is the pecking order. It's very common in birds, yeah? But, well, yeah, that's the what happens with food. The food chain, I like that, Sinjin. It actually works. The rank and file is the lowest one. Yes, if you're rank and file, you are the very lowest. And Minati, that's good as well. So, let's see. Good. Okay, we're going to change now and have a little story, as I always do. I like the food chain, yeah? It was a really good idea from Sinjin, the food chain. Big fish eats little fish. Yeah. Pecking order, yeah? So who's top of the pecking order? In the United States, who's top of the pecking order? Well, I think it used to be Mr. Trump, but he's no longer the head of the pecking order. I think you could use pecking order in a formal writing. I think it's quite a useful phrase. Okay, the story today is really short. It's called The Horse and His Groom. The groom is the person that looks after the horse. The groom is the person in the stable who brushes the horse, who looks after it, who makes sure it's well fed. The groom is not the person who owns it, probably, or the person who rides it, but it's the person who looks after it. So, the questions are easy. Explain the story, and what moral would you give the story? So listen. There was a groom who used to sell his horse's food to the innkeepers and drink all evening long. He would then spend the whole next day combing and brushing the horse. The horse said to the groom, "If you really want me to look good, then don't sell the food that nourishes me." The groom is like the servant that looks after the horse, Lavinia. Good evening, Lily from the Philippines. Newlywed, yeah. So, yeah. Let me read it again. There was a groom who used to sell his horse's food to the innkeepers and drink all evening long. He would then spend the whole next day combing and brushing the horse. The horse said to the groom, "If you really want me to look good, then don't sell the food that nourishes me." So, explain the story and then give it a moral for me. Yeah? So, what are we going to say about this? I'll read it again because we're still... There was a groom who used to sell his horse's food to the innkeepers and drink all evening long. He would then spend the whole next day combing and brushing the horse. The horse said to the groom, "If you really want me to look good, then don't sell the food that nourishes me." Yeah, so are we still connected? I think we are. Yeah, I think there's just here we go. Thank you, Count Beauty, faithful as always. The groom used to sell the horse's fodder, great word, Beauty, to an innkeeper. The horse was looked after badly, so it said to the groom to stop selling the fodder if he wants it to look good. That's great, Beauty. Well done. Thank you. Victor Gabriel, don't bite the hand that feeds you. Absolutely. And the moral, you cannot have your cake and eat it. Exactly. I like that as well, Cheyenne. Charity begins at home. And Minati, if you're doing a service, do it right. Yeah, I think if you're doing anything, do it right. If you're going to do it well. I like that word that Beauty used, fodder. F-O-D-D-E-R. Fodder, this is a food for animals, for cows. Yeah, or for sheep or for a horse. Fodder is animal food. Yeah, it's a really nice word. Hey, Tomek, don't trust an alcoholic. He, she, use they. Yeah, they instead of he or she. They might sell everything to get a bottle. You could also say they might sell anything. It doesn't matter what. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, yeah, so anything or everything. They probably sell both. Okay, so how are we going? And Baptista. A groom would sell his horse's food. Good. I like that would. To some innkeepers, just to discover that his horse could speak. Even the horse has a groom. Good. Cannon fodder is food for the cannon. Yeah, food for the cannon. This is food for war. Cannon fodder. These are people who feed the battle. These are people who can die, who are irrelevant. So, Lavinia, there was a groom that used to sell his horse's food to drink a lot. Good. The horse said to the groom, "If you really want me to look good, please don't sell my food." Great. Sinjin, yeah, fodder, food for livestock. Good evening, Mario. Fodder sounds like Gallego to you. I'm not completely convinced. Fodder, I think it probably, I get the feeling it's Scandinavian origin. Well, maybe Gallego Scandinavian origin as well. So, let's see. Mangira just took it out. Like hay, exactly. Fodder like hay. Minati, whatever you do, do it for some gain. Don't waste your time. Good English. Valium dog. The moral would be don't drink all night long because otherwise you'll think animals will lecture you. Yes. Lavinia, the moral is if you want to achieve good results, you have to make efforts. That's great English, Lavinia. Manu, the groom sold his horse's food and drank all night long. So one horse said to him, "If you want me to get good, you have to give me the food." Absolutely. Fodder like hay ever. Exactly. Chabi, the horse complained about his groom's behaviour by trying to change his mind to deal with him more delicately and sensibly as well. It reminds me of Animal Farm. I think that there's a lot of this to do with Animal Farm. Okay, Reynard, the groom used to steal the horse's food and tried to calm it down by false care. but combing and brushing didn't satisfy the horse. The moral is, give living beings what they really need. I love that, Renya. That's really good English. Alexei, looks like a country with greedy officials. I think this is this is a very, very good simile, Alexei. Yeah? As in the officials taking all the money and then giving the people superficial things. English vibes. The groom spent days combing and looking after his horse. At the same time, he robbed and deprived the horse of his oats. Good, oats. Oats is fodder. And food to get his own profit, and splurged the money, I like the splurge, on useless alcoholic drinks. That's very good English vibes. Yes, the word groom and grooming. A groom grooms a horse. So grooming, you groom your beard, you groom your nails. They are absolutely related, Balint. And hubby, moral, put all your efforts in whatever you do. I quite agree. Maria Lafard. The groom sold the horses food, and with the money that the innkeeper gave him for the food, he would buy alcohol. Good wood. I like that, wood for past habits. Well done, Maria. Tanetra. The groom was cheating on his horse. Absolutely. The horse was hurt and pleaded with the groom not to be pretentious and care for it genuinely. Pretentious isn't the right word there. Not to be false. Because if you're pretentious, you pretend to be... Woof. Yes, in a way it works. Pretentious is more to do with social class, Tanetra. Somebody who's pretentious is trying to show that they are high social class when they're not. Sinjin, don't deprive the horse of the food. Absolutely. Maria Lafard. The next day he would try to make the horse look good, but it is not enough to simply brush the animal. He should have fed the horse. Good English. Otherwise, combing the horse is useless, since the horse would still look skinny. Absolutely, Maria. Assad. Cheating is bad, that's great. Does a groom groom? A groom grooms, absolutely. A groom grooms a horse. He should also groom himself. You're jealous of the horse. What you need is your own groom, Victor Gabriel, and that's called a butler. Renyard. In Germany, many alcoholics have dogs because they receive extra money to feed their dogs. But according to my observations, all alcoholics' dogs were extremely slim. I've seen that in other countries as well. Notice, Renyard, I would say thin instead of slim. Thin says too thin. Slim says just right figure, which I don't have. I would love to be slim, but thin is talking about unhealthy, and it's a better choice of word for you. Baptista, brushing is not enough if you are not fed. Great English. Beatrice, there was a groom who used to sell the horses food with the purpose of drinking. Good. Therefore, and it's jumped. You've just taken it out because you've seen a mistake. There was a tippler. A tippler's horse. A tippler horsekeeper. Okay, there was a tippler horsekeeper. A tippler is somebody who likes a tipple, who likes a drink, who wanted to sell his horses hay and concentrate on the innkeepers to buy alcohol. Once brushing his horse, he said to him that combing merely is not enough. Horse means bear in Italian. Okay, and English vibes. The groom was plainly dishonest and kept currying, good word, the forlorn animal, smoothing down its mane to make him look sleek. The horse finally said in indignation he was getting exasperated and resentful. And Abood, slender. That's it, Sinjin. Slim is slender. Thin is a problem. Thin is talking about anorexia. Slender and slim, thin and anorexic. Wow, thank you, Borka. That's really kind of you. I really appreciate that. So, this is a kind of dishonesty. The horse sends an implicit message. Feed me today, then eat me tomorrow. Okay, so I think I probably ought to put the story here in the middle so that everyone can see it. Yes, this needs to go here. So, thank you very much again, Borka. That's very kind of you. Okay, so, once we can see it, orso. Horse, orso, I get it now, Lavinia. The Manu, the moral is give to Caesar what is Caesar's, give to the horse what is the horse's. It needed an extra O, Lavinia, but it's good. Lean means thin, Sinjin. Beatrice, there was a groom who used to sell the horses food with the purpose of drinking. Therefore the groom spent, not spended, the whole next day taking care of the horse to make it look good. Then the horse told him to feed him instead of taking the money for drinking. That's very good, Beatrice. Yeah, I'm glad you got the told him. So, let me just read. There was a groom who used to sell his horse's food to the innkeepers. Yeah, the pub keepers, and drink all evening long. Yeah, so he's drinking. He would then, and a lot of you have used this would for past habit, and I like that. He would then spend the whole next day combing and brushing and currying the horse. You use a comb for your hair and a brush. The horse said to the groom, if you really want me to look good, then don't sell the food that nourishes me, that makes me fat. English advised, by this sort of treatment, and rightly so, and quite understandably, that he should focus more on the health of the horse and not the benefit he made out of the horse for himself. Yeah, he needs to think about who he is. Advocating for horses' rights here. Animal rights, absolutely. I think one day in the far future we will stop eating meat. We won't eat animals anymore at some point. How to make a horse speak with a human voice. Don't feed it for a while and pretend that everything is just fine. That's very good, Tomek. The innkeepers, I guess, sell the fodder to the other clients who bring their horses to the inn, because this is in the past. Yeah? Or maybe they could use it to brew beer, but I guess the innkeepers are then selling this to their clients who bring their horses, who come on horse. And actually, to answer that, Alexei, I've been to a pub near where I live where quite often people arrive on horseback. So that would be a good thing to do. And Dylan, life is indubitably filled with endless psychological suffering. One must find meaning to the suffering, so see that he can learn to cope with such beauty and tragedy. Okay, so let's leave the story and let's just find a couple of... that goes in the wrong place. A couple of easy questions to finish up with. So, yes, name something that comes in cans. 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 What might come in a can? Everything you see I owe to my food. I am what I eat. Questions? Absolutely, Victor Gabriel. Name something that comes in cans. Beans. Absolutely, Victor Gabriel. Thank you. You're on the ball, my man. So, the rest of you, what about naming something that comes in cans? Beans, pop, soda pop, sardines, absolutely Abood. Beer, Valium Dog, tuna, Baptista, Lavinia says Tudor, Renyard, meat, fish, olives, Victor Gabriel, water. I've never seen water in a can, but it could. Soup, Anya, very definitely. Corn, Beatrice, Count Beauty, coffee, Tanetra, beer, Lavinia, beans, English Vibe, peanut butter, Tomek, drinks and beans, Hyder, tuna, raccoon, olive oil, I guess, Alexei, cola, Eva, tomato sauce. Yeah, tomato sauce comes in cans as well. Cheyenne says peaches, this tuna fish, pineapple, tin pineapples, quite nice, Sinjin. I guess gasoline as well, canned juice, olives. Thank you, Javi. So let's try another one. This one's a difficult one. How many is a gross? How many is a gross? Yeah, tennis balls come in cans. Absolutely, Valium. Tomatoes, Manu. Okay, so, soup, absolutely. So the next one's difficult. How many is a gross? How many is a gross? Sweet corn in cans, definitely Sinjin. But how many is a gross? I bet you don't know the answer to this. Let's see, I'm sure you all know the meaning of gross, meaning disgusting and horrible. Yeah, chickpeas in a can, top. So, Tomek, you're on the right track. No, that's a dozen. 12 in a dozen. A gross is 12 dozen, which is 144. Yes, Beatrice and Cheyenne. So, a gross is 144. So, yeah, it's 144. 12 times 12, exactly. How many are gross? 12 in a dozen. 12 dozen is a gross. A different meaning, yeah? So, a gross is 12 dozen. Let's see, let's try a really easy one now. How long is a century? How long is a century? How long is a century? Last question. How long is a century? How long is a century? How long is a century? So, how long is a century? Half a dozen is 6. Absolutely, Sinjin. By Lint. Net plus deductible. So, last one. Yes, 100 years. Absolutely. I like that. Aboud's put all of it. Baptista's got some of it. Victor Gabriel's got some of it. And Aboud and Raccoon and Renyard and Sinjin and Tomek and Anya. Moral from English Vibe. The fable conveys the message that appearance is not everything, and in particular the groom should have nourished the horse properly and looked into the future. Cause, as the following proverb, good English vibes. So 100 years from Tanetra, 100 years from Balint, 100 years from Count Beauty and Ricardo. Valium, 100 years, absolutely. Cheyenne, 100 years. Gertrudis, Maria, Haida, you've got that right. And Beatrice, good. English vibes, 100 years. Manu, 100 years. 10% of a millennium. I like that, Javi. You're a man after my own heart with the numbers as well. So, well done, Top. Only a few days to go on to make a century. Very good. 1,000 is a millennia, Sinjin. And good work, Assad, and good work... Yes, Dendekes. And Jalene, so, Top Abo. 1 Abdo. 1 gross is 144. Okay people, that's enough for today. I'm going to finish now, so I want all of you to take care and keep warm and keep safe as well, and we will be back next week and we'll do more of the same. So it's been really good seeing you all. You've been a great crowd. Don't get depressed if you think the questions are too difficult, because the questions are really difficult. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I choose them, because they're difficult questions. So don't end the stream, please. You'll have to wait till next week, Victor Gabriel. You need to keep them all looking for more.